And then in that great mysterious test in the life of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam, who is in the land of paganism in Egypt all alone, the solitary monotheist, a slave owned by a pagan in the state apparatus of pharaonic Egypt. His master's wife suggests the unsuggestible to him. Difficult situation. But what does he do? What does he do in that situation? وَرَاوَدَتْهُ الَّتِي هُوَ فِي بَيْتِهَا عَنْ نَفْسِهِ. She in whose house he had settled sought to tempt him from himself. وَغَلَّقَتِ الْأَبْوَابَ وَقَالَتْ هَيْتَ لَكَ. She locked the doors and she said, come on. This is a situation of domestic abuse. People abuse the weakness and the dependence of employees, of servants, of maids. It's an ancient story, and here it is to God's prophet, all alone, as a monotheist in the land of Egypt. But he says, Ma'ad Allah. Allah is my refuge. This is his impulse. But وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا لَوْلَا أَن رَأَى بُرْهَانَ رَبِّهِ. He considered her, she considered him, but for the fact that he saw the proof of his Lord, and the ulama have different explanations for that. So even the Anbiya, they're human. When we read their stories, we realize these are also human beings. These are not kind of detached angels with no impulses, with no humanity. And this is part of the beauty of the Quran. We can relate to these stories. But in these stories, we are told that the real champion, the hero, the warrior, is the one who, like a true man or a true woman, rises above these impulses rather than saying, oh yes, all right, I'm weak, Allahu Ghafurur Rahim, Allah is forgiving, I'll make tawbah, I'll do a hajj, I'll give sadaqah, whatever it is that we do to try and give some kind of ugly religious legitimation to something which is a defiance of the Lord of the worlds. So as we read the Quran, we should apply all of these stories to ourselves. Within each one of us, there is an Ibrahim and there is an Nimrod, there is a Musa and there is a Fir'aun. Every day of our lives, in every moment we can choose to do the beautiful thing or we can choose to do the ugly thing, even if the ugly thing is just wasting time, killing time with daydreaming. So the poet says, فَإِنَّ أَمَّارَتِي بِالسُّوءِ مَا اتَّعَظَتْ مِنْ جَهْلِهَا بِنَذِيرِ الشَّيْبِ وَالْحَرَمِ مَنْ لِي بِرَدِّ جِمَاحٍ مِنْ غَوَايَتِهَا كَمَا يُرَدُّ جِمَاحُ الْخَيْلِ بِاللُّجُمِ. So the poet is saying that part of me which is constantly inspiring me to do evil is not listening to my sermons because of its ignorance and doesn't listen to the sermon of my greying hair and my stooped back. Even that sermon is not going to stop it from following its own inclinations. Who is going to help me control this stallion that is running away beneath me? Where are the reins that will hold back the stallion of my ego? فَلَا تَرُمْ بِالْمَعَاصِي كَسْرَ شَهْوَتِهَا إِنَّ الطَّعَامَ يُقَوِّي شَهْوَةَ النَّهِمِ. Don't think that by eating a bit more you will defeat the appetite, because food as regularly imparted simply increases our appetite. The more you have today, the more you'll have tomorrow, until you become, like most of us nowadays, overweight, and then ibadah is harder, then you have heart difficulties, diabetes, all of these things. Again, from the nafs, and Allah's blessing is that He's calling us to something better than this. وَالنَّفْسُ كَالطِّفْلِ إِن تُهْمِلْهُ شَبَّ عَلَى حُبِّ الرَّضَاعِ وَإِن تَفْطِمْهُ يَنْفَطِمِ. The nafs, the ego, is like a baby. If you ignore it, if you just leave it alone, it will just continue to drink the breast milk. It's only when you impose on it the pain of weaning that it grows up. This is how we have to be. We can't be children constantly looking for treats. We have to be able to say no. The great lesson of Ramadan. Another poem says very beautifully, in order to console us when we're saying no, and momentarily we feel sad that we haven't got that pleasure. يا نفس إن لم تظفري لا تجزعي وإلى موائد جود مولاك هرعي ولئن تأخر مطلب فلربما في ذلك التأخير كل مطمع ولئن بدا من ناطق الوجدان ما يدعوك لليأس الذميم الأشنع فاستيقظي من نومة الغفلات وليكن الرجا لك مرتعا فيه ارتعي إن العطاء إمداده متنوع يا حسن هذا كالعطاء المتنوع وردوا على نهر الحياة وكلهم شربوا وكم في الركب من متضلع حاشا الكريم أن يردهم عطشا وقد وردوا وأصل الجود من ذا المنبع يا رب لي ظن جميل وافر قدمته أمشي به يسعى معي كل الذي يرجون فضلك أمطر حاشاك أن يبقى هشيما مربعي. This is a poem in which the poet lived in Yemen 300 years ago. May Allah, inshallah, heal the hearts of the people of Yemen. But the poet is saying, speaking to his nafs. "O my nafs, O my soul, if at first you don't get what you want, don't panic, but hasten to the banquet which your Lord has made ready for you. And if something for which you're asking proves slow to come, then know that very often in that slowness are the best gifts received. And if there should come from your lower self, from your inwardness, something that is calling you to that horrible condition of despair, we might nowadays say depression, then wake up from the slumber of heedlessness and make hope your pasture which you never leave. For your Maker's gifts take subtle and uncounted forms. How beautiful is the huge range of the gifts that he gives. The people came to the water of life and all of them entered it, and how many there were who were drinking deeply from that water. How unlikely it is for the one who is Al-Karim, the generous, to leave them thirsty when the basis of all generosity in the world is from his spring. So it's good news. If we say no to that pleasure, Allah will give us greater pleasures. Don't think that his storehouses will ever run dry. If you say no to a human being, maybe he never will give you something. His resources are finite. But if you say no to the ego, Allah will give you more, because his storehouses are infinite and never run dry. So in this joyous day of Eid, let us remember this blessing, the great gift of knowing that with Allah's help we can say no to that within us which just munches and indulges and leads to all of the problems in our lives. And that we can say yes to the voice of Al-Haq Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, and we can rise up and we can become stronger and better, and we can walk tall as Allah's khulafa on this earth. Let us learn this lesson, inshaAllah. Barakallahu fikum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.